right, so we are live, Ellie. Yeah. So first things first, though. So guys, I am about to put something over here in the comments, and when you get a second, head over to Instagram and follow Ellie over on Instagram. Y'all, once you hear her speak, you'll understand why. So I'm going to put that down in the comments so you guys can see that. So if you get a second, head on over there. Okay. Awesome. All right, guys. Hey, guys, how are you doing? It's been a while since I have been on here for you guys for a live. But tonight I brought a special friend with me. We had Ellie. This is Ellie, first of all. Yes. We had Ellie in our YouTube transformation series, and her story was phenomenal. And so many of you guys reached out and said how inspiring she was, how, oh my gosh, I thought she was talking about me. And so I asked Ellie if she wanted to come on one of our live broadcasts and kind of share her experience through nursing school and some of the obstacles that she faced, and kind of go from there, and how she kind of overcame them through nursing school. So we have people joining us. We have people from Florida, Washington State, Illinois, New York City. Addie, she says, hi, pre-nursing student here. Hope to get into a nursing program next fall. That's awesome. We are rooting for you here. So little introduction, if you guys don't know Ellie. If you haven't seen our YouTube transformation series, as she's speaking, I will post the link to that so you guys can go check that out after her talk. And you guys can catch the full story. I don't think she's going to get into the entire story here. I'm not sure exactly. But if you guys do want to see that, you can head over there for that. So a little bit about Ellie. Ellie is a recent graduate of a master's in nursing matriculation. I had to make sure I said that right, program. And I think she'll go into this, hopefully. But she's currently studying for the NCLEX. After passing the NCLEX, she plans on getting a job in the med-surg area of the hospital, right?
Yep.
Awesome. Med-surg, peds, adults, no?
Gen med.
Cool, gen med. All right. So she currently enjoys planning her next adventure to East Africa. And she talks about that in her live series as well. But so I was talking to Ellie before we got on here, and she said she's just going to go backpacking through Africa, maybe check out some cool animals or something. Safari. That'd be cool. That's on my bucket list of things to do. And she's learning how to navigate life with learning differences and ADHD. Aside from all of that, she lives in, South Central Virginia with her husband of 9 years. That's awesome. Congratulations on that. And her golden retriever, Willow. Ellie, my favorite dog is a golden retriever. So I'm kind of jealous. And I asked her before we jumped on if Willow was available. And she said that Willow is not. So sorry, guys. So real quick, we have Boston, Massachusetts. We have St. Louis, Missouri. Hi, Elizabeth. How are you? She's from Indiana. New York again, from Florida, Chelsea, and Alabama, Ashley Smith, and Sierra Coronado. She says, you know her. I was like, she must know you because she says, yay, Ellie. Who is she?
We were in nursing school together.
Awesome. All right. Well, shout out to Sierra. Anyways, okay, guys, keep your comments and questions coming in as she's talking, and I will have her answer them for you guys. At the end of tonight, we will be doing some giveaways for you guys, so hang on till the end. But without further ado, Ellie, I'm going to turn it over to you, and have a great time, guys.
Oh, well, thank you everyone for tuning in. So I'm just gonna kind of go over 3 obstacles that I faced in nursing school. But first, I'm gonna kind of start with why I decided to go into nursing. So I was a wedding photographer for about 8 or 9 years before I decided to go back to nursing school, or I should say, got into nursing school. My journey to nursing school was a very long road. It took about roughly 6 years to get in. I graduated with a bachelor's degree in counseling, and after that, I started trying to apply to nursing programs or pre-nursing programs, and I failed anatomy and physiology. I think it was like 4 times, 3 times, 4 times. I've honestly lost count. But I could not get a C in the class that I needed to get into nursing school. I was understanding the information, so I was kind of confused why I wasn't being able to correlate that to making good grades on the test. So that's when I kind of started asking questions like, is there something else going on here? So I went for a psychological evaluation, and I was told that I should not pursue nursing school, that my talents were better suited for wedding photography. um, so that was kind of a big pill to swallow, just having somebody tell you not to pursue what you want to do with the rest of your life. So I also during that time kind of battled through some physical illnesses, depression, panic attacks, anxiety. So basically my 20s was just a whole big mess. But after being diagnosed with dyslexia, auditory processing disorder, and then eventually ADHD, I kind of got the help that I needed and was able to navigate that a little bit better in school. But I finally got into a master's degree program. It's a matriculation program for people without an undergrad in nursing, and it's 2 years straight through. So it was pretty fast paced. And I just kind of wanted to go over 3 obstacles that I faced during that time. And I'll kind of just give you the pointers. I don't like when people give, when they talk and then don't give all the points because then I can't focus. But anyway, so the 3 obstacles I faced was information overload. The second one was definitely imposter syndrome, and I think kind of the mental game that comes with nursing school. And then I'd say my third one was the unexpected. And then I'll just kind of break those down and talk about those and talk about what I did to overcome those. And please note, nursing school is different for everybody. Hard is relative. So I would love if you could take something away from this, but it's not always going to apply to every single situation you might be in. So the first obstacle, information overload. Like I said, I was in a fast-paced program, so all of the information that I was getting in the classroom at a short amount of time was so overwhelming. I think especially when I first started classes, I was just like, there's no way I'm going to be able to keep up with this and make B's in my classes to continue on in the program. But kind of what I've learned was that when you go to lecture, taking away key points of the lecture and not focusing on everything that's being said. I'm definitely somebody who would go to a lecture and it would just go over my head because it was so fast paced. So something I did was I would take the key points and then I would go to the library and study with a friend, which was usually Sierra. Hi, Sierra. And then I would watch the basically the correlating key points that we went over in lecture, I would watch the videos on nursing.com, and that really kind of helped me digest the information in a faster paced way that I needed. And then I think an important factor too was having a calendar or a planner, whichever one you prefer. I liked having a written planner, but that was just helpful to stay on top of tasks, because I'm sure, as many of you who are in nursing school know, there are so many things to get done. So having it set in stone and being able to see it is really, I think, vital to your success in nursing school. My second obstacle, imposter syndrome, and just kind of the mental game of nursing school. I was told that nursing school was not a path I should go down. So I think from the get-go, when I started nursing school, I was already telling myself, I don't deserve to be here. Everybody in this class is more intelligent than me, and they're going to find out I'm a fraud. And that definitely took a while to overcome, and I think even still is going to be something I struggle with as I go into my career as a nurse. But I kind of tried to overcome that by realizing that when you're in nursing school, you're a student and you are not expected to know everything. Now, I understand there are some clinical preceptors or professors that act differently. But besides that, you really are not expected to know everything. Where most of your learning is going to take place is when you start your career as a nurse, and not actually in nursing school. I think another helpful thing too was focusing on what I had done well, what I was good at. I got this from, I think it was an NRS or nursing.com blog, but just writing down things that patients had said to me, just like little encouraging notes, and having those handy whenever I felt down, just being able to look at those and kind of remember my why of why I was in nursing school and why I was doing what I was doing. And I think visualizing, sometimes, you know, you're going through the thick of it and you're asking yourself, like, why am I here? I know that was definitely something I did. I had a wonderful career doing photography where I made my own schedule. I worked from home. So why on earth was I going to trade that for nursing school? So I asked myself that many times. And I often found it helpful just to kind of visualize what I was going to feel like and what it was going to be like when I was finally a nurse. Sometimes I would get on Pinterest when I didn't want to keep going or do homework, and just look at nursing graduation party themes or graduation caps, and then just kind of visualize what it would feel like to walk across the stage and graduate, and finally be finished with nursing school. I think another important thing was mentally decompressing. For me, that was just after every semester ended, we did have a little break, and I would go on a little vacation with my husband, and that was kind of something that I looked forward to throughout the semester, and that definitely kept me going. So whatever that is for you, maybe it's a facial or exercising or a vacation, but I think those things are important just to decompress from all of the stress and everything that goes on in nursing school. And the third obstacle.
Okay, before we go to the third obstacle, can we talk about the imposter syndrome just a little bit more? Because I see this. So I don't know if you guys have never met me. My name's Tammy. I am the community manager here at nursing.com. I go and I talk to you guys over on Facebook group, on our Instagram page, and I hear this all the time. All the time I hear, I don't feel like I belong. Everybody's smarter than me. And I really try to like drive home like those positive self-talk. we do have a blog all about imposter syndrome. And I'm going to link that here. But Ellie, I think you brought up some really amazing points. I love how you said, remember your why. We hear that all the time, right? Like, I mean, I'm sure you heard that all through nursing school. Remember your why. Why did you start in the first place? You have to have a reason why. When you're in the thick of it, it's hard to remember that. It's hard to remember, why did I even start in the first place, you know? So I really like that, how you said that. So when you said, remember your why, I know you kind of talked about it briefly in the beginning, but what was your why? Why did you want to start nursing school?
Thank you, Tammy, for bringing that up, because I did kind of skip over that part. The nerves kicked in, y'all.
No, you're all right.
Well, my why is definitely kind of a bunch of different reasons. But I had planned since I was a little kid that I wanted to live in Kenya. And so that was kind of always my why throughout life, and why I did everything kind of tied into me eventually wanting to move to East Africa. So I did counseling, and then during my counseling internship, and I go over the very long version in the other videos Tammy was talking about. But I was at a children's home with my friend, and the little girl had tuberculosis and she had no access to care. And so we took her to the hospital. And that's when I was kind of like, okay, like, you know, I want to do something more. That really hit home for me. I also took care of my grandfather my last year of college, my undergrad. And that was just a really raw time. My grandfather was, had a ranch. He was a cowboy, one of the toughest people I'd ever met. So just seeing him completely deteriorate, and being able to be there for him in his most vulnerable moments. Gosh, I tell Tammy this all the time. I'm a crier, so I apologize if I cry. But just being able to be there for him in his most vulnerable moments of life, it was honestly an honor. I don't mean to sound cliche, but it really was. And those things kind of just made me realize, like, I want to do more. I have ADHD. I like to go, do things. And so I was like, well, nursing, that's something I can do. I can do med surg or the ED or peds. I can mix it up. It's not just staying in one place forever. So that was kind of my big why of why I wanted to go back to nursing school. And then I eventually would love to take my counseling background and my nursing background and kind of put those two things together for a more holistic approach for my patients, and hopefully one day live in East Africa.
That's amazing. I love hearing your why. It's amazing. It's inspirational. Chelsea John says she is very sorry for your loss.
Oh, thank you, Chelsea.
Yeah. So a lot of people are agreeing with you. They're saying, yes, that's how I'm feeling now. Same. So I think it's great. Like, again, thank you so much for sharing this, because I feel like a lot of times you kind of get lost thinking that you're the only one that feels this way. You're the only one that is struggling or whatever, and I think it's great that you're able to, express that, and like you guys can all come together and really work and be like, no, you're not alone. Like I'm feeling the same way too, making a circle, like a community around those feelings, kind of build each other up instead of tear each other down. I think that's phenomenal. All right, so I'll let you go ahead and keep going. Sorry.
Oh, no worries. Thank you. The third obstacle that was a struggle for me in nursing school was the unexpected. Whether that was a problem with a clinical instructor or a preceptor. And so in my program, we only had a couple of clinicals that were in a group, but most of our clinicals were one-on-one with a preceptor. So I did have an issue with one preceptor. We had lots of group projects. You know, you might not always get along with everybody in your cohort. I think just I tried to plan out everything that could possibly go wrong in nursing school and prepare for it, which was great. I'm glad that I did that. But there are things, the unexpected. I mean, look at 2020, COVID. Like nobody was expecting that. So, I mean, you just have to be as flexible as possible and roll with it. You know, I think understanding that those things are going to happen, and just trying your best to stay on top of what's expected from you, so you can prevent those negative outcomes. And then I think a big thing for me was just working with, you know, your advisor or a professor who really supports you and kind of have your back in situations that may not be going well. And I think just reaching out to them when stuff is getting bad and not reaching out at the end of the situation, kind of when the wheels are coming off. I had a lot of things just one after another go wrong in nursing school. It was, I mean, it's comical looking back, but then it was just like, oh, it was so stressful. But I think just like realizing there are lessons to be had from those situations, no matter what it is. Even when it's people, no matter what you do in life, whether you're a wedding photographer and nurse, you are going to deal with people in life that are basically your Karen. And you have to learn how to communicate effectively when you might be stuck in a cohort with them, or when they're teaching you information, or when they're your preceptor. And it sucks. I get that. But you just have to keep going. And like I said, I think remembering your why, trying your best to keep your head above water, keeping your reputation intact, and just realizing that it is all going to work out. And it may not work out the way that you wanted to at that moment. I was almost dropped from my program because I missed passing pharmacology by a little less than half a point. Thank God that my professor rounded. But just those times where it's just like so stressful and you're like, oh, I've worked so hard for this. How could this be happening? You just cry it out, do whatever you've got to do, and realize like it is not the end of the world. I have failed so many classes, not in nursing school, before nursing school. I have failed tests. It's not the end. Like if you keep showing up, eventually you're going to get there. And other people might not think that that's going to happen. I had family and friends tell me that I was being stubborn for pursuing nursing school after taking anatomy and physiology so many times. And you can't listen to that. If you want something bad enough, you go get it and don't listen to anyone else. Yeah, that's what I have for the unexpected, Tammy.
Awesome. Thank you, Elle. So on that note, when you were talking about, I think you made a really good point about, what were you saying exactly about the, hold on, I wrote that down. You were making so many good points. I was writing everything down. But keep showing up. I love that. So keep showing up. Remember your why. It kind of all goes together. As to why you got it. If this is your dream, you know, keep on going and find those things that will help you, that will benefit you to get that goal. surround yourself with people, surround yourself with whatever. I don't know. What did you surround yourself with to help you obtain that goal? I know you said that family members were saying that you were just being stubborn. So what would you tell yourself to kind of be like, no, like, you know?
I did not do well from about third grade on to high school. I just didn't do well in classes, and I played soccer, and I was very, very good at soccer. So I think that kind of taught me, like, well, I might suck at school, but I have soccer. And I think something I would tell myself through nursing school was, well, I might suck at school, but I'm pretty compassionate and can relate with patients. I know what it's like to be sick and not have people believe you. And I definitely think there's a gap there in Western medicine. And I knew that I wanted to be that support for my patients. So I think just kind of like clinging to that and being good at that emotional aspect really kept pushing me through.
For sure. So John messaged me, and John, who, if you're watching and don't know who John is the founder of nursing.com. And he wanted me to tell you thank you, and that he's watching with his kids who also have ADHD.
Oh.
And they said that you are inspiring. So you're not just helping nursing students, Ellie, you are helping everybody in the educational, or who is pursuing an education. So I want you to know that you really are an inspiration of hard work, determination, not making excuses to give up. I mean, you could have given up. Hey, I have dyslexia, I have ADHD. Like, maybe it's just not in the cards for me. No, you took that and you said, okay, I'm going to have to work this much harder. I'm going to have to do this much more than a normal traditional, I'm doing quotes, student. So you really are an inspiration to many. So if we can just touch on that, because I know we have a lot of people, we've polled just the nursing.com users, but I know that there are non-users out there who are also watching, and they might be struggling with dyslexia or other learning difficulties. So can we just talk about that, if you're comfortable talking about that just a little bit, on how you studied with having ADHD, how you studied with having dyslexia. As you know, I've shared with you, I also struggled with dyslexia in school. And as we were going through school, it wasn't really talked about. So when you were diagnosed or whatever, how did you, hi, Kai. That's my niece. John just texted and said, Kai doesn't believe this is live. So Ellie, can you say hi to Kai?
Hi.
Yeah, if you could just kind of touch on that a little bit.
Even studying for the NCLEX, I still feel like my studying habits evolve. But I think with dyslexia or any learning difference or even ADHD, people just have these conceptions about them, but it really is very nuanced to each individual. So for myself, when I'm reading text, I don't really switch letters, but I'll input words that aren't there or take words out. And I don't notice it unless I read it aloud. So oftentimes that's what I try to do still. So even if I'm in the patient's chart in the hospital, I'll read stuff out loud. I'll talk to myself a lot because that's how I catch myself. But I think even with that too, I'm constantly checking and rechecking. So that also helps me, I think, stay on top of things and not go through, med passes super fast, because I'm okay, gotta make sure this is right. And as far as like ADHD, so I was told I've had ADHD my whole life when I was evaluated, and they didn't catch it until I was 30, 31. And help with that, I definitely did. I'm on medication for that, which was something I was very opposed to, and I think a little snobbish about, because you grow up, I think, hearing about ADHD, and it's always super hyper kids that just need to be disciplined. And then when you're diagnosed with it, you're like, oh, so that's why I do that, and it really doesn't have anything to do with not being disciplined.
Yeah.
My brain just works in a different way, and there's nothing wrong with that. Medication's definitely helpful. It's not a fix-all, cure-all, but that was very helpful for me. But yeah, I found medication, talking things aloud when I was studying. Sierra, who commented, she was a saving grace in nursing school. Thank you, Sierra. But she would make study guides, and then she would send them to me because she could get through the study guides like typing them up so fast. Whereas I'm still like, on the first paragraph, and this girl has finished like chapters of information. So she would send the study guides to me, and then I would kind of just tailor them to what I wanted them to say, the key points. I would do the nursing.com videos, and I would just go through those. And I tried to just write pointers or even draw pictures. Like Picmonic was really helpful when it came to, sometimes I just like copy their pictures and draw them. And I felt like drawing them helped it stick.
Yeah.
But those are just some things I did.
Yeah. So like more like visual kind of studying and stuff. Okay, so I have to show you this. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but oh, there we go. There's John and the kid watching you. So that is John, who's the founder, and his two kids. They're watching Elle right now.
Hi, John.
Yeah.
Thank you for nursing.com. Yeah. You saved me in nursing school.
Thanks, Elle. Thank you for being a part of the nursing.com family. So I have a couple of questions for you from people, if you are willing to answer those. So Elizabeth says, I am feeling discouraged currently due to failing psych by 2 points and now having to drop pharm. I guess this isn't a question. This is more whatever. But I played soccer too. Thank you for your advice to keep showing up. So thank you for that. Okay. So do you have tips to study med-surg? I am struggling to pass. So what are some things that you did? I know you've been talking about it constantly, but anything specifically for med-surg other than the points that you talked about that you used to study?
So med-surg was, we had 2 med-surg classes. So those were definitely the classes. I don't know if you can see behind me, but all my nursing school books that I paid for that I barely opened.
Right. Why didn't you open your books, Elle?
Med-surg was definitely one of those. I feel like I dove into nursing.com the most for med-surg classes. Mm-hmm. So what I did was I would take my professor's PowerPoints, and then I would just go to the library and be like, okay, what topic is she talking about? And then I would plug it in the nursing.com, and I would just go over it that way.
So a lot of people might not know what nursing or who nursing.com is. So you may ignore that.
It's this phenomenal website that you definitely need to get, and I'm not being paid to say this.
Wow. Nor did we go over this at all, but thank you.
You can ask Sierra, she's still on here, how much I talked about nursing.com through nursing school all the time.
We need to hire you then.
Yeah, I'll take it. Okay. But it's basically, they have videos of the topics, like nursing school topics, and the classes are broken down by classes and then topics, and they're short hello, if you have ADHD or learning differences and you don't really like to pay attention for a long time, this is your jam. They're nice and short, and they get to the key points of the information. So I'm sure, like, those med-surg books, they're like 5 quadrillion pages. I mean, it's ridiculous. I'm like, listen, I have dyslexia and ADHD. We're going to have to make this work some other way. What is the workaround here? Nursing.com. They also have, you guys have like cheat sheets, like all kinds of fun stuff that
Sierra says all the time. Sorry.
just stuff that really, I feel like, helps the information stick. And you might be one of those people that can go to lecture and just absorb the information. I knew people like that in my nursing program.
Yeah.
If you are like that, God bless you, but that is not me.
Yeah, everybody learns differently, you know, so yeah, definitely. Okay, so I think we answered your question about how you studied foreign med search. So awesome. Basically nursing.com. So thank you, Ellie. All right. So Melissa says, I have about 5 people in my class who have ADHD and trust, another comment. And trust they're going to be the most amazing nurses as they are very detailed in their work. I love them so much. So like I said, Ellie, you are not alone. And that's why I'm so thankful that you came on here to help people out and let them know that they're not alone. So Sarah says, do you have any tips to study pediatrics? Kind of anything else that you want to add to med-surg that you use differently? Or did you kind of keep the same study format once you kind of found something that worked for you?
Oh, pediatrics. So our pediatrics class was pretty fast-paced. It was in the summer, so it was really, really condensed. I think it was only a few weeks. That, again, watching the videos and having Sierra.
Sierra.
Make us study guides. If you can just find one person in your class, you know, and what is the trade-off? I would give Sierra gum during lecture, and she would give me study guides. So
wow.
You gotta find that one person where, you know, it's a fair trade-off for both of you, and
yeah,
it works.
Yeah. So everybody find a Sierra in your class or a friend that can kind of help you out there. So do you have anything else, or is that kind of what you
geez, Pete.
yeah.
I mean, I'm trying to remember it. Nursing school is such a blur, thank God. But yeah, I mean, just that, and like I said, like, you know, sometimes I feel like my studying evolved differently for different times of nursing school. So our summer semester was condensed with like a class and a few, I think the peds class was 2 weeks actually.
Wow.
So it was like 2 weeks, and then you have to pass, and then you go to the clinical. So it was just a lot of information, and sometimes I feel like, yeah, that's tough, but it's also helpful because the lectures are so fresh in your mind. But it was just right after lecture, going to the library and studying.
Yeah.
Talking it out too. Like if you have somebody you can talk things out with. Again, I'm wearing her name out in this YouTube live, but Sierra and I would just go to the library, sit there, kind of study quietly, have our headphones, and then if one of us had a question, we could just ask, or if we needed to talk through something. That was just, I felt like, really helpful and kind of invaluable thing to be like, am I thinking about this right? You know, yes or no kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay, so Chelsea says, first, John, if you're still listening, Elizabeth said, I was motivated by you today listening to your podcast. Thank you. So John, if you're listening, there's a plug. There's somebody, Elizabeth says, thank you. Okay, so Chelsea says, I've had challenges with exams. Do you have any tips on how to overcome test anxiety? So before you answer that, I'll let you think really quick. Chelsea, I am about to link a blog post here from talking all about dealing with test anxiety. So you can come and check that out. All right. Ellie.
So test anxiety, I felt like for me helped. I was able to get accommodations to have a separate testing room so I could read my questions aloud. And again, I also took a as needed anti-anxiety med. So I did do that for tests. But that was, I feel like, just a game changer, getting accommodations. Because I feel like too, sometimes when you're taking a test with your class, you're taking the test and then you can be like so into it and you hear somebody get up and it's just like, oh my gosh, like I'm going slow. I gotta hurry up. Like, and I tend to be like, oh, I don't want my teacher to have to wait on me. Like, what if they have to get home to their kids or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
So I just put a lot of stress on myself in that aspect. And then just having my own testing, my own room to test in, or basically like a closet sometimes. It was just really, that was helpful. And I think not listening to people in your class right before the test.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like sometimes that got really overwhelming, like hearing people go over information. So I just would put my headphones in, wait until my professor took my bag, and then I could go up to my testing area.
Yeah.
But
that's awesome advice for sure. Did you ever look at the test taking course inside of nursing.com?
Yes.
You did?
Yes.
Yeah, that's always super helpful too, you guys. If you want to go in there and just kind of learn the different types of testing questions, like those different types of NCLEX style questions and stuff. But yes, so Sarah said thank you. Leslie said, oh, we did that one. Oh, no. Leslie says, how did you deal with stress during nursing school? I'm sure you were never stressed, right?
Always. Alcohol, Leslie. Lots of I'm partially teasing.
Gotta be honest.
I think just having having a good support system, just having like those close people that you connected with in nursing school, even if that was, one or two people.
Sierra.
Exactly. Sierra, she lifesaver. And just being able to kind of like lean on them, cry to them if you're a crier like me, was just really helpful. And two, like I mentioned before, just like for me, having vacations at the end of the semester, it was like, oh my gosh, this sucks, or I have to write this paper or whatever, and I don't want to do this. And kind of when I got to that point, I'd be like, okay, if I go to Mexico with my husband Andrew, in a month, how am I going to feel when I'm like, oh, I didn't finish that paper, so I didn't pass my class. So those like little things just really kept me going. I also did my capstone for 2 semesters in oncology, and that was very stressful from obviously the standpoint of what the patients are going through. And then when I was put in oncology for my capstone, I thought, oh yeah, like I got this. I helped take care of my grandfather who had cancer and passed away of it. So, I can emotionally handle this, but it definitely hit me a lot harder than I thought. Sometimes I would just get off of the 12-hour clinical and just have to go to the gym to just decompress my emotions. So I think just finding what it is for you that helps in that way kind of self-care, if you will, and then having a good support system, even if that's only one person, I think really makes a difference, just having them in your corner.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. Support system is huge. So definitely grab onto that one person that you can lean on. Ellie, we are running out of time here, and I don't want to keep you because from your husband and your Willow. So if you guys don't have any more questions, I want to let you guys know again, I said this in the beginning, but Ellie does have a transformation series story over on our YouTube channel. I posted it before, but you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to post it one more time. But if you guys want to hear all of Ellie's story, there's so much more that you guys should check out. I just posted a link to go over to our YouTube channel and check it out. You guys, Ellie is phenomenal. She has an amazing story. So I appreciate you, Ellie, for doing this. Another thing that I want you guys to know, if you guys have any more questions or you think of anything else that you want to ask her, Ellie said that you can feel free to go over to her Instagram page and send her a DM. Follow her on Instagram and send her a DM. And she will answer all of your questions. So thank you again, Ellie, for doing that and taking the time out of your day after even doing this and answering those questions for everybody. Most importantly, guys, you guys are not alone. That's kind of what we want to really tell you guys tonight. And nursing school will not defeat you. Ellie is living proof that it will not. And okay, Sierra, she says, so proud of you, friend. Couldn't have done it without you either. So yeah, heart, she says heart. Liz says, love it. Thank you both. And then everybody is saying thank you. Hi, Hannah. I recognize you. She comes to all of our live events. So thank you for doing this. You're welcome, Hannah. So I do want to tell you, I did say that we are having a special deal going on at nursing.com. So if you guys are not a member of nursing.com, you can join for $1. And when you do join, you actually get a free comprehensive NCLEX book. Ellie, do you have this book?
Yes, I do.
So it's an amazing book. It goes over every single nursing category. It has questions. It has rationales. Ellie, you can talk about it if you want.
It's very colorful. I like that.
It is colorful. It is very colorful. It's very pretty. Anyways, if you sign up for a $1 trial, you will get a copy of this for free. I'm going to post the link here if you guys are interested. If you are a nursing.com member and you still want the book for free, all you have to do is refer a friend and both of y'all will get this book for free. So if you want that, what you need to do for that is go over, sign up for a free 3-day trial for $1. Have your friend do that. And then send me an email at contact@nursing.com. Attention, Tammy, and I will send y'all both a copy. So if you want a free book, I'm going to post the link here. If you are a member and you're signing up a friend, make sure you email me at contact@nursing.com. All right, so let me just read a couple of things that people are saying really quick, Ellie, before we get off. Says, thank you, amen. It's because of you. It's because you... Okay, I do have it. Nice, amazing. And I have the book. Love it. I have the one. Can you read the comments? Can you see the comments?
Yes.
Yeah. I have one very helpful. Nursing.com.
There's always that one.
Yep, exactly. Let's see here. Yep. Okay. So, anyways, I did promise you guys some free giveaways here. So if you guys are interested for free stuff, wait 1 second. Okay, so what you're going to do is one emoji, and I'm going to show up the book as I am reading off the prizes. You guys put an emoji, and that is how I am going to choose a winner. So the first prize that we're going to be giving away is the Lab Values book. Ellie, do you have that one?
I do not. Where was that one? I needed that one.
Oh, I'll send you a copy. So we got this. And then we're going to have the nursing cheat sheet book. Do you have this one?
I do not.
Man, I'm going to have to send you all of these books. And let's see here. Let me just do something. I am going to remove that voice comment.
But it's so fun.
I know, right? Okay, and then another book that we will be giving away is the New Nurse Survival Guide. Ellie, do you have this one?
I do not, but I've.
I'm going to send you the whole
PDF
library.
in that one?
Yeah, we have a PDF of that one too. Keep the emojis coming in. And lastly, we're going to send our 140 must know meds. Sarah, I refer my cousin once I join. I will have the book. Yeah, so if you're a member and you refer a friend, you both will get the book. So you just have to send me an email with the username and I will send you guys a book. Okay, so keep the emojis coming in. So those are the prizes that we'll be giving away. So keep those emojis coming in. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. All right, so for the 140 must-know meds, Melissa Julie, you are the winner of this book. So what you need to do is send me an email, contact@nursing.com, and I will send you the book.
Woohoo, Melissa!
I know, congratulations. Secondly, let's see. Oh my gosh. Okay. The emojis keep coming in, so it's hard to like choose somebody. Who is that? Keeps going away. MAI Maiken, the New Nurse Survival Guide. Melissa has the 140 must know meds, so oh yeah. Melissa, we'll change it to the nursing cheat sheet. So there you go. So for the 140 must know meds, we'll do this one here. Sarah. Okay. Sarah, you are the winner of the 140 must know meds. Did I call Sarah's name already?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. All right. So last but not least, the lab values book. Let's see. All right. Jessica Powell, you are the winner of the lab values book. All right. So if you guys are a winner, please email me at contact@nursing.com and I will send you your book. Congratulations to all the winners. And thank you so much, everybody, for joining us tonight. Ellie, again, thank you so much for coming out.
Thank you.
You're welcome. If you guys want to hear Ellie's full story, head over to our YouTube channel. The link is in the comments. Melissa, you get the book by emailing me at contact@nursing.com and I will get your mailing address. If you guys are interested in a free book of the comprehensive NCLEX review, start a free or a $1 trial at nursing.com, 3-day trial, and we will send you a book. The link again for that. Did I post the link? I'm going to actually do that one more time just in case I didn't. But the link for that, guys, this deal is over on Friday. So make sure you guys do that if you want a free book. And then again, if you have any questions for Ellie, head over to her IG, follow her, and ask her the questions over there. Thank you so much for the book, and thanks, Ellie, for sharing. Yes, very much.
Thank you for listening.
Yes. All right, guys. I hope you have a fabulous night, and I hope you have a fabulous holiday next week. And Ellie, happy Thanksgiving to you.
Happy Thanksgiving to you as well.
Thank you. Guys, go out and be your best selves. And as always, ready, Ellie? You know what to say, right? Happy nursing. All right. Bye, guys.
Thank you,
You're welcome. Bye, Ellie.
Bye.